We are in Bhajagovindam, and Bhajagovindam is a very hard-hitting, teaching by Adi Shankaracharya himself for any samsaris, those who are in samsara, those who are having the disturbance in their daily life. For them, this Bhajagovindam, which is I think 36 verses, out of which first 18 verses are by Adi Shankaracharya, other verses by his disciple, 4 disciples. We will be doing the 7th and 8th verse. Madam, you are. We will just go through one by one. What this verse says is, at the childhood, the child generally only likes to play. Whatever you say, he will not listen. At the adult, the youthful life, he likes the opposite personality, opposite sex. In the old age, he will only be in worries. He likes to be in worries, always, chintaha. But in no time does this human likes to be in a parame brahmani saktaha, means in the surrounding of Brahman always. He always is away from Brahman. Kopi naha saktaha. All of these 3 stages, we are away from Brahman. Our 5 senses always takes us away from the real consciousness. That is the meaning of it. Can you just read, Shubha?
It's lost in attachment to games. The youth is lost in attachment to women. Old age passes with worry and anxiety, thinking over many things. But there is hardly anyone who wants to be lost, that is attached in Parabrahman, the Supreme Spirit.
Also, for any scriptural studies, we should have 4 Ds. Just remember, 4 Ds. First D is discipline. One should have a discipline, like we come at a correct time, 5 minutes before the class, and do our studies. Second is discrimination, or also called in the scriptural language, vivekaha. What is good and what is bad? What is dharmic? What is adharmic? What is real? What is unreal? So this is second D, discrimination. Then dispassion about all the worldly things, which we are always attached to, dispassion. And one desire. So 3 Ds we saw: discipline, discrimination, dispassion. Dispassion about anything and everything which is anatma, away, other than Brahman. And last D is desire. Now generally we say we should not have desire. But the only desire which is allowed is getting attached to Brahman. Okay, just because this attachment has come, we saw samsara is what? Raga, shoka, moha. So strong attachment will cause intense grief will cause delusion. So the only attachment is, according to scriptures, allowed is Brahman. Ask.
Discrimination is
Vivek.
First is discipline.
All is given in Tattva Bodha, the book which is given to you all. Introduction to Tattva Bodha is there. That small book is there, no, one more. Introduction to Tattva Bodha. Just you can search Sadhana Chatushtayam. This is sadhanas. This is the way of learning scriptures is 4 days. Okay, I will share in the group also. I'll share this in group, writing in simple English. Next.
कस्यत्वं हकुत आयातः तत्त्वं चिन्तय सदिह प्रातः.
So this is again hard hitting. You can read. Arundhati.
Extremely wonderful is samsara, the circle of birth and death. Of whom are you? From where have you come? Brother, ponder over these concepts.
Isn't it? They are saying who is your wife, but you can say who is your husband also. So we are so attached. The attachment should be for Paramatma, but we are attached to this kind of relations: wife, son, daughter, brother, whatever. And we are actually we should be attached to Supreme Brahman, but we are here making our own samsara as supreme and wonderful, whatever, wonderful or not wonderful. And we never think that if we are going to be in this merry-go-round or sorrow-go-round, we are going to come back to life. We are going to have a death, we'll again come birth and again death. And between the birth and death, samsara is going to be always there for you as a human being. Only in the human birth do we have a chance to get liberation, moksha. Are you following, madam? I'm little, I cannot speak Tamil. If some, yes, no, but I think
it's quite good.
Okay, sir. Okay. Sorry. So between the birth and death is your choice. But generally, if you see, we are always thinking fatalistically. We think we are Katputlis, we are like the dolls God has made, and we don't have any choice. We have a destiny and we have a fate. But when you have this discrimination power, when you have these 4 Ds, you start choosing. Only, for example, you take a cow. When cow is born with that kunti, we say, whatever that we put in the earth, that is the radius for her. She doesn't have a choice. No animal or no other being have a choice like we have. Only thing is, we are so much into this worldly affairs and samsara that we forget about our choices and take it as this is the only thing, destiny for me, and we become fatalistic. So in this, what they are saying is trying to say, you only have chosen your supreme world as samsara as your world and taken everything relation as very seriously. But if you start questioning it, is this wife really, wife means is this spouse or this son really mine, or is it only of this body? Once the body is disappeared, what remains is only Atman. And Atman is not born to anything, worldly things around you. Got it? So with that, I want to introduce one more important topic. I thought I will introduce one topic like last time we have introduced dharma, karma, all. Ahara. Can anyone say what is ahara? Even on the online people, what is ahara to you? Food. What we eat. Okay. Then we will see what is the real understanding. There are 3 shlokas in the 17th chapter. Yeah, Sonali, a little louder.
What we think, what we eat, what we hear.
Exactly. Good. So, ahara is not just what we eat. All the 5 senses are taking something or the other in. Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. Your speech, your sight, your ears, your nose, and your touch. All these 5 senses, that 5 horses are our 5 senses. The chariot is your body. How these 5 senses are taking things, interpreting inside is ahara. And generally we only think food. But even the sound, even the smell, touch, if all this is a different kind, then your ahara is not good. So, and as the 5 senses are, the 5 horses are required for moving the chariot in a correct direction. so does the ahara play a very important role in your everyday life. There are 3 verses which describes ahara into sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic. If anyone remembers what is sattvic, sattvic means anything which is pure and good for you. Rajasic means something which is lot of energy, but it may not be good for you. And tamasic means absolutely not good for you, for a human being. So the first sloka here is Ayu Sattva Balarogya Sukha Priti Vivardhana Rasya Snigdha Stiraradhya Ahara Satvika Priya. So Ayu, this your life which increases by eating this food, taking this food. Sattva Balarogya. It is strong food and which makes you also strong. Bala. Sukha Priti Vivardhana, which gives you good feelings when you eat it and which make you happy. So such type of food which are generally rasya, they are more juicy, fresh. So such type of food are considered as sattvic, means good food. Now, what happens? Such people, they will be having these qualities. They'll be truthful. They'll be having steadiness of mind. They generally are self-controlled, not against violence, and always compassionate. They surrender to God. They are in bliss. Such people generally you see as saintly people. So again, I'm not telling only about food. It is about all the other 4 senses also included. The second shloka which tells about the rajasic. Katva amla valavan lavana tushna tikshna rukshna vidahinaha ahara rajasasheshta dukkha shoka madmayah prada. So now comes to the rajasic food, the food which is actually katva, which is bitter, amla, which is sour. So tushna, ati tushna means very, very like khara or fire, spicy, and ruksha, very dry. So all this extreme kind of food is basically rajasic ahara, and such food gives only dukkha and shokaha. If it's spicy, you might feel very good here. The next day on the other side will be very, very, very difficult. And sometimes immediate results also will come. And we know, and gastritis will happen, ulcers will happen if you take this continuously. Also, the personality will change. These people will become very arrogant. They are so anxious that they can't sit even for 5 minutes. And that's why you see the attention deficit disorders. We only think about children, but it is in adults also. Because if you are eating while you're watching TV, especially big news, the news nowadays is so flashy, and if the sound is too much high, so you are taking 3-4 things which are very rajasic. The food might be sattvic. I'm not saying the food is not sattvic. Food might be very good. It may be a curd rice, it may be very good vegetables, fruits, but with that you are actually taking very high rajasic sounds or something which is visual not good. So ultimately the ahara which you take in is rajasic. And that's why we don't know why I can't sit even for 5 minutes quietly. My mind is always anxious, fearful. These are the qualities of a rajasic ahara. The third one is tamasic. This is absolutely should be avoided. Yata yamam gatarasam puti paryushitam chayat uchishtam apichamedhyam bhojanam tamasapriyam. So the food which is kept for long time, which is cooked and kept for long time, the food which is not served first to God, because if you see our culture, we eat food as a prasada from God. For example, today I get a laddu and give everyone one, you will just take it and put it in. But if I say it is Tirupati laddu, how do we take? We take with reverence. We bow down, and even if it is this much, we take and we enjoy that laddu. So similarly, everyday food should be first serve to God. It should be prepared in the mind, thinking that I am going to serve this as a prasad to God. Then it is taken. Even some families today also, especially Brahmin families, Krishna is, it is like if you don't give food to him, no one takes the food. So it's prepared for God, then served to the other people. So if it is not served, it is this type of food. And another thing is, these foods are very stale, it will smell, pungent. So now people generally say eating about non-vegetarian food. So if you see, it is not mentioned that this is non-vegetarian, but if you see such non-vegetarian food which is harmed by some other being, which is kept for longer time, which is overcooked or undercooked, whatever, and you never give non-vegetarian food for a deity. So indirectly what this says is non-vegetarian food is a tamasic food. What will happen? Laziness, tiredness, people will be in depression most of the times, and they will be always lethargic, and these people will be adharmic. So they will never follow the dharma, and they will be always greedy. So this is just to understand what is ahara. So finally, ahara is not just the food, it is about 5 senses: our smell, taste, touch, hearing, and sight. Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. Shabda means your sound. Sparsha means touch. Rasa means taste. Gandha means smell. And Rupa means sight. Okay. Now let us come to the second chapter, but we will recap because some people are new and also better to recap. The first chapter name, please. Vishada Yoga. Now, the first chapter was how many verses? Anyone? Do not see the book. 47. The first verse was by Dhritarashtra himself. So, Dhritarashtra inquires about what is happening in the battlefield, to which Sanjaya starts from second verse. From 3rd to 11th, Duryodhana is giving the entire account of the 2 armies. And where actually there is one more Vishada, one more sorrow of Duryodhana also in this chapter, where he's trying to lament about what's going to happen in the war. The other army is smaller in size but bigger in the strength. All that he says. Listening to all this, and also from 12th to 19th verse, there is introduction by Duryodhana only about the different warriors. Then 20th verse, Arjuna becomes overconfident. He requests Krishna, his charioteer, let me see who is in the war, whom I am going to fight. And so Krishna very cleverly keeps the chariot in between Bhishma and Drona. To that, the real fun starts. The strong attachment comes from 26 to 27 verse, where he suddenly has this horripilation, that goosebumps, and the Gandiva falls down, and all that starts emotional distress because he's so much attached. Raga means here attachment. The likes for, he doesn't even see the enemies. He starts getting attached to this Drona and Bhishma, the Guru and his Pitamaha, grandfather. Then 28 to 35 verses, it is the intense grief, which is the next step of samsara. Samsara is divided in 3 things. It's a syndrome of raga. It is strong attachment for strong likes or dislikes. We all have likes or dislikes, but strong likes and dislikes, which will always lead to intense grief. And from 36 to 47 verse, he is completely deluded. He is mohit. And in that moha, once he sees through the eyes, the vision of some spectacle which is clouded of all this thing, he's only seeing that the army we should not have the war. And finally, at 47th verse, we see that he is completely silent, broken down, and he is no more a warrior actually. So, but still, the Gita doesn't start till 11th verse. So what is there till 10th verse? We'll see today. And the chapter 2 is called Sankhya Yoga. Sankhya is a philosophy, which is actually, there are so many philosophies like, Buddhism, Jainism, Taoism, and Shunyavada. So this one philosophy is Sankhya philosophy. We'll do one day something, talk about Sankhya philosophy. So last verse we saw, Aruna ma'am spoke about it, and this is how the situation is now. Situation where the middle of the war, Arjuna has kept his bow, arrow, all the Shastra Astra has kept down and is literally not ready to fight. But Krishna is just a good teacher and he's listening. And today we'll start with the first verse, Dr. Divya. Little louder. Vacha samtata krupaya vishtam ashrupurna puleshanam vishidantam vidam vakyam vacha madhusudana. You want to explain?
Sanjaya Uvacha. Sanjaya is again reporting to Dhritarashtra. Madhusudana Uvacha. Krishna says, Idam Vakyam, these words, Tam Visidantam, to the extremely broken Arjuna. He is extremely sad, he is totally shattered. Tataya Kripaya Vistam, because of his attachment, because of his strong attachment to his family, his relatives and all that. Ashru Purna Kulekshana. His eyes are filled with tears. And through that he is unable to see properly. He is not having clarity of mind also.
Good. So you explained without looking at the. So Sanjaya, you can read Sanjaya Uvacha.
To that grieving Arjuna, who was completely overpowered by attachment, as described before, and whose eyes were blurred with brimful of tears.
Okay. See why we are doing it so many times, samsara, because we have to understand there are two more things in first chapter. Introduction of a guru and introduction to Shishya. How is a eligible Shishya? Surrender. And surrender, but he should first know that he's Shishya. If he doesn't know that I have samsara, means he has not diagnosed, he can't be treated. The diagnosis here was samsara, he's samsari. Through Arjuna, we are all relating ourselves to Arjuna. So that's why so much repetition for those who are unprepared. Someone who has read Bhagavad Gita before, he doesn't have to go through all this first chapter. Directly can start from second chapter, 11th verse. Coming to second, Shuba. Kutastva kashmalam midam vishame samupashtitam anarjunshtam swargayam kirtikaram Arjuna.
He's trying to hurt Arjuna so that he feels the sunlight and he feels some buddhi, or to give him some buddhi. Krishna is actually scolding, literally hurting Arjuna by saying from where this low thinking is coming. Like you're saying, I'll not fight. I cannot hurt my my uncles, my aunts, my uncles, my brothers in the war. From where this thought is coming? Because a noble person always fights, or whatever is his discipline. That is, whatever is his work, he has to do. So Krishna is saying to Arjuna that only people who are not a noble, or people who are in the low, this thing only will not oblige and do their duty. A person who is always a noble will always stand up to what he believes in and go ahead and do the work. So this dejection and this anxiety, this frustration of Arjuna, he's trying to overpower by just telling him, by putting strong words.
You can also read.
So, first by Krishna.
First verse. Yes.
Lord Krishna said, O Arjuna, from where did this dejection, which is not entertained by noble people, which will not lead to heaven, will lead to ill fame, come to you at this wrong moment?
Right. So one more thing here we have to see is, he is saying Anarya Ajustam. So not only noble, Anarya, Aryam. So Krishna, these people were Aryas, and in South we say Dravidians. But Arya means not that it is some religion or some kind of special place. We come to it. And second thing is, two things he is telling. By doing your duties, you will go to heaven. Like, here is not started the real teaching. He's just teasing him. Because somewhere, like, some people who are grieving, and you start giving upadesha, you start giving advice, it will fall on a deaf ear. So being a Jagat Guru, being the Guru of all the Gurus, Krishna knows there is some more grief remaining. So these two verses are there. He is trying to tease him and make him strong words also. That's why there is a whip in Krishna's hand. I'll come to it. So what is an Arya? Kartavyam acharanam karmaha akartavyam anacharanaha tishtiti prakrita chare sah va aryam iti smritaha. So this person is called a Aryam, who is actually doing the duties which is prescribed to him. He never falters the duties. The thing, if he has to do according to dharma, he will do it, may whatever come. Second, he will never do that duties which is not according to dharma. Whatever greed may be there, but he will never attempt also that duties. And this type of, who is following this discipline always in any situation, is an Arya. So there is, Swamiji very jokingly tells here, Dravidians, if I say this, there might be a group of people coming to me, but there is nothing like that. Arya's meaning is this, not that they have come from that place somewhere in the northeast, northwest from India. They are these people who follow discipline. That discipline is doing the duties which is prescribed and never doing the duties which is not prescribed to you. Yes, basically karma. And he was so. Arjuna has actually defeated Parameshwara also. And that's where he gets the boon. He has defeated even Bhishma once. And all this, after defeating, he was a big warrior and he is suddenly deluded now because of samsara. Aruna.
Go back to the English person. English. That I have a doubt.
Yes, please.
He says, come to you at this wrong moment. Is there any right moment where you can get this feeling? See, he is down with energy, or he is down with everything. This is the wrong moment. Is there any right moment where you can lose all that?
So I never thought this, but this is inappropriate, no? Wrong means inappropriate.
Yes.
No. Remove that wrong word. Then it is right.
Yes.
This moment. Correct.
Vismaya. Last. Sir, this English, sir, the English should not be taken because Vismaya is, you cannot translate wrong or right or appropriate. It is like particular moment where is, yes, at this moment, sir, it should not be wrong. Because there is no right moment when he will have such feelings.
But this, there is no right.
No right moment, yes. Good, sir, good observation. Aruna ma'am.
Krishna says to Arjuna, he just wants to whip him. He doesn't want to tell him, he doesn't want to start teaching him or telling him. So he just wants Arjuna to realize that what he's doing is not right at the place, or because Arjuna is sitting down, thrown away his bow and arrow. So Krishna says, plebeianus, unmanliness. You are in the battlefield, and how come such thoughts have come to you? And especially that's a sign of weakness. Actually, I didn't even realize that, sir, because even when we were small, whenever there is thunder or lightning, my parents used to say, tell Arjuna, Arjuna, Arjuna. So we used to tell. So here Krishna says, how come when people who are even in their weak moment, they'll tell your name 10 names, and how come you are so weak at this point of time?
Yes. So what do you think? Why? What made him weak? Exactly. Good. That much we have understood. That much we have understood. The attachment has made him weak. So you can read that. What?
O Arjuna, do not take to unmanliness. This state does not befit you. Having given up this mean, faint-heartedness, get up, O Arjuna.
Uttishtaha. So this brings to such an important thing where Krishna is also giving us advice. Never give advice until unless asked. You know, patient comes paying this consultation. He wants advice. Just someone's going around on the road and ask. We should not give this advice. I'm just telling about doctors, but in any case, this is very, and this is one Vachyam Shraddha Samedasya Prichatasya Visheshata Shraddha Hinsa tu Proktam Aranyam Ruti Topama. So, if you have given advice to a person, if not asked for, it is just like, you know, it will go on a deaf ears, and this Aranyam Ruti Topama means it will be like crying in a very vast jungle. Means it will be like you are crying, or the advice will be like crying in a vast jungle, means no one is there. You are crying alone. So never ever, until unless he's asking, Prichatasya, before asking, never give the advice. So here also, Arjuna has not yet asked. He's only putting his doubts. If I kill them, what will happen? Kulakshana, this entire family will go. All doubts only he has put. He has never asked Krishna that, oh, tell me what should I do. So that's why Arjuna also, Krishna also has not answered. He just teased Arjuna now, and now much more. So that's why one more, this photo what I have put is, for the left hand you see, there's a whip. We never see this, right? We always think Krishna has Shankha, Chakra and all, but there is a whip. And this, especially for these two verses, this whip has been used. A good teacher also politely, when the doubts, or sometimes multiple times, if his doubt is not cleared, he will whip him. Same way he is doing for Arjuna. Ma'am. Arjuna uvacha katam bhishmam sankhe dronam cha madhudana itubi pratiyotyam Varisudana.
Krishna, how can I fight against adorable Bhishma and Drona? In his war with arrows, O Krishna, he is asking again. Arjuna asks, Madhusudana, O Krishna, Katam aham, how can I? Pratiyotyam, fight against Pujarha
Rahu Bhishmam Dronam and Drona both.
Sankhya in this war with arrows, and Arisudana, O Krishna, is again asking in front of Bhishma and Drona, how can I fight? They are all adorable and honorable.
Yes.
So is it good to fight with them?
So very cleverly, now this is Vyasacharya's cleverness. See, Vyasacharya is saying, and the Ganesha is writing this. See how two words are used, Madhusudana and Arisudana. Both are, Madhu and Kaitaba was the Rakshasas. And other hand, Arjuna is telling Puja Rahu, adorable Bhishma and Drona. He's trying to make a comparison between Bhishma Drona and Madhusudana and Arisudana. So what he's trying to tell is, Krishna, you can kill this justice by killing the Asuras. How can I do justice by killing my own people? This is how he's trying to, again, so once he's whipped, now the real things are surfacing. Okay. Arundhati.
Mahanubhavan Shreyo Bhoktum Bhakshyamahi Loke Adva Sattathamamstu Guruni Haiva Kunjiya Bhogan
Pradikta. No, this is a different meter, actually. This is totally different meter. This Bhagavad Gita is Anushtukpa. Like there is one, after every 11 letters, it changes. But this is not, it is a totally different one.
It's two choices. Like one choice is telling that if I'm killing my kids and kin, in this the gain victory will be soaked in blood. And if this victory is going to give me pleasure, this victory soaked in blood is going to give me pleasure. So Arjuna asks Krishna, I will remember Bhishma and Drona in every object I see, and how I shot them dead, and how blood was going from their bodies. And do you think I will enjoy these pleasures? The second choice he has is going back to the forest. Here Swamiji says, instead of fighting, Arjuna, he wants to return to the forest. And if he does so, he'll be committed to two sins, which he's not able to understand or recognize because his mind is not in a stable state. So Krishna is waiting for the moment where Arjuna will utter, Krishna, I'm confused, help me.
Correct. So still the time has not come. The Arjuna is still not asking for help. Okay.
They don't ask for help. So the parents wait until the children ask them, Appa, I'm confused. Please guide me.
Correct. So as a parent also, we should understand this. Can you read this?
To live on alms better than killing the noble gurus. On the other hand, by killing these gurus, I will enjoy here only the blood-stained pleasures of wealth and sense objects.
Good. Very good. You, madam, understood? Shall we say in Tamil? It's very easy. It's the same thing actually. Chandrashekar sir.
Thank you. That's Arundhano Pariyo Yatva Jayami Yadiva No Jayeyo Janeva Katva Naji Utamas Devasida Pramukhe Dhrutarashtra Arjuna. We are going to win or other people that is opponent are going to win. We don't know. So that by killing them, we will not live by killing the other people. That type of people are standing, that is Dhritarashtra Guru is standing in front of us. That is Arjuna is saying.
You can also read.
Moreover, we do not know which one of these two causes is better and whether we will conquer them or they will conquer us. The
Very good.
time
Those very Kauravas.
those very Kauravas killing whom we will not even decide to live or aspire in.
Okay, so okay. So it is the same thing again, what he was telling in the first. In the first chapter also, he was saying the same thing, no? If we kill these people, what will happen? And such a prosperity I don't want. It will be blood-stained. All this is repeating, nothing else. But he is not asking for help still. 7th. Sonali, would you like to chant and explain?
Yes, I'll do that. कार्पण्यदोषापहतः स्वभावात् पृच्छामि त्वां धर्मसमूढचेता यच्छेयसा निश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे शिष्यस्य देहं शाधिमां त्वां प्रसन्नम्.
Very nice. Very nice. You are muted again.
All the time. Sorry?
Yeah, now. Okay.
I'm not unmuted. Yeah, all the time, Arjuna is just complaining that I'm not able to fight with my own people and all. So he now have understood, and he is telling Krishna that he is overpowered with the thought of helplessness. He's feeling very helpless, and he is not able to understand what is wrong and what is right. Now in this shloka, he is surrendering himself to Krishna and asking him if he can just tell me what is right and what is wrong, and to explain to him, or to tell him why I am ignorant about all these things. So this is what I have understood.
This was a very important, nicely explained and very nicely chanted also. So
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So now he's telling, decidedly tell me. Okay, he's nishchitam shreyaha. Means you tell me exactly what should be done. Now he's surrendered. He's telling now, who have surrendered to you. Prapannam tvam. He has surrendered now. After 47 plus 6 shlokas. So this is also important, that he is telling, do not tell like just, superficially, what should I do? Definitely you tell me, what should I do now? So again, one more reason that he became a student now, and Krishna is now going to advise him. Because if you just ask just like that, without paying the consultation, you don't give the treatment. So here he is told, definitely tell me, what should I do? I surrender to you. This is the shloka where he's become a student now. So the transformation of Arjunas to a student has happened, and these 3 things are important. Discovery of the problem he had, that there was samsara with him. There was problem of attachment was there. Second, he was also feeling helpless. From 35th verse only he was telling, I am not able to lift the Gandiva. I am not able, everything is shaking, shivering. And he also knew that he cannot solve the problem himself on his own. But finally, seeking the help was remaining. And that's what he did in this verse, surrendering. So last verse, today's or last verse, Maiythri, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Little louder, Maiythri.
Okay. Nahi prapashyami mama panudyad yajjogamuchosanam indriyanam avapya bhuma asapatnam riddham rajyam suranam apichadipatyam.
Very good. Very good.
So here, Arjuna is saying to Krishna, I cannot see anything, or I cannot feel anything. I'm feeling very weak because of this sorrow of mine. Even if I get a prosperous kingdom, and even if I become better than Indra or other gods, I will still not be happy because of my intense grief. So here he's asking Krishna, please guide me and teach me. So here Arjuna refers that worldly treasures and desires will not bring happiness to me because of my sorrow that is weakening my body.
Excellent. So actually, if decided, it may not be US, it may be any place, but the satsang can happen. So Maiythri is sitting in US and attending the class. Thank you, Maiythri. Thank you very much. In the end, we'll come back to you for this song. Yes. The last verse I will like to chant, and I will have to explain, because immediately after this verse, there's a shift. The teaching shifts. So Sanjay Uvacha Eva Muktva Rishikesham Gudakesha Parantapa Nayotsya iti Govindam Uktva Trushnim Babuvaha. So now the scene is like that. Vedavyasa also wants to, he cannot have the camera to shoot. So what he's telling is, after this, Arjuna has said, Uktva, to whom? Rishikeshaha Gudakeshaha. Rishikesha Gudakesha is Arjuna himself. So what is Rishikesha meaning? Those who have mastery on all the senses. And Gudakesha means those who are mastered in sleep. So such a personality has now explained everything what he had to none other than Govinda, in front of Govinda, Krishna. So after this, what has happened is there was silence. Complete silence. There is no word spoken. And Arjuna, having spoken thus to the Lord Krishna, Arjuna, the destroyer of enemies, said to Krishna, I will not fight. And he became quiet. Silence was prevailing. Sometimes when there is a lot of argument, silence will make the both parties to think. Here, not required for Krishna, but definitely for Arjuna. Now wait for the treatment part, which we will see in the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.